Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Solar Streets. I'm your boy G Waterz, and we are back with another episode with the one and only R&B sensation, the beautiful Beth. Welcome to the Solar Streets, Beth.
Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it. Thank
It
you.
is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. You've been on a roller coaster of just great blessings on your journey. I don't see how you can just not still be sleep dreaming. Because you are, you've been doing. I read your bio. You've done so much. And there's still so much more to do, I'm sure. So before we get into all that you've done, how did you even get started? Like, what was your first um dream of just doing what you're doing today in music?
Well, I think as a little girl, I think seeing Whitney Houston singing, and even prior to that, my father being a musician,
Okay.
having music in the house, that was very inspiring. Doing music in school, that's how it kind of started for me as a kid. And then as I started to grow up, seeing Whitney Houston and wanting to be like her, and to hearing her sing, and to just seeing her perform, that was really inspirational for me. And I was like, okay, I want to do what she's doing.
What was your Whitney Houston song?
You Give Good Love. That was
Oh,
like
so you
one of
was
my
there from
favorite.
the beginning of
From the beginning, yes, yes. I mean, the duets with her, Jermaine Jackson,
Yeah, Teddy
you know,
Pendergrass. Yeah.
to take good care of my heart,
Take
and
good
all of that
care of
stuff.
my
So
heart. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Her first album, I have her first album, and that was, and I'm a little girl, and I'm seeing this brown, tall, thin Black woman that reminded me of myself, or who I thought I was going to grow up to be similar and, to look like.
Right.
And I was really inspired by seeing her. And so that was what I wanted to do as a kid, not even thinking that, everything that it takes to even do that, or to be
Right.
that. So I think in professional, so that's just the dream. You were asking me the dream, right? So that's
Right.
the dream part. Being little, hearing my father play, because my father's one of the late Funk brothers. I'm
Okay.
repping my Motown hat, right?
Nice, nice,
Uh,
nice. Come on now,
so
Moto.
yeah, so hearing him play, that was, one thing, but then seeing somebody who I could relate to, seeing Whitney Houston,
That's
that was
very
the
important. That's
the
very
dream,
important to
right?
have someone that you can connect with like that when you're pursuing something so big and
Yeah,
it's
but you're a
just
little
hard to do.
kid. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
little kid, so I don't know how that's going to even look or work out for me, but I know that I see this woman and I want to be like her. So
Wow,
as I grow
that's
up,
dope. That's
you
what
know,
Oprah said about Diana Ross. That's crazy.
mm, yeah, so if Diana was hers, Whitney was
Yeah.
mine.
Dope.
So I'm seeing her perform. I'm seeing her be tall, thin, beautiful, and brown, and she's performing. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And so then as I, go through school, I'm singing, you know, at church, the choir. But I think my first professional big job that really was life changing for me was me meeting, connecting with Michael Powell from Chapter 8.
Nice. Oh,
And
great
Michael
producer.
Powell,
Yeah.
yes, great producer. And Mike is who produced Anita Baker and
Mm-hmm.
was friends with Anita Baker. And he is who took me to Anita. And that became my first international and national touring gig as a background singer. I had been doing singing before, but never on that level. And Mike took me to Anita. And when he took me to her, that was the start of my professional touring background career. I toured with
So
her for 5 years.
what album did you tour with Anita? The first
Well, no, I started with Anita in 2007.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know what album she was on
No,
at that
at that
time.
point it don't even
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
I,
she was at that point. I don't think she had any current music out. I think she was just touring and selling out based on the hits that she had
yeah,
already
yeah.
received or put out.
Catalogs was already
So, I
catalogs. It was yeah, she was
absolutely,
already
we're
past all that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all over the world. We're traveling, we're touring. So that's how that started initially. And then I transitioned from Anita to Kim.
Mm.
And then from Kim, I still stayed with Kim, but Kim had like a break in work. And then I transitioned over to working with the Mighty OJs and
Oh,
toured with them. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. And then went back to work with Kim. And in the midst of Kim and the OJs, and prior to even Kim, I had released my first album. So in the midst of that, I was starting to develop being a solo artist as well. And
okay.
I found that being a background singer was great. It was amazing. You get to be on the stage, you get the lights, you get the camera, you get the all the fun stuff of the show, but you don't have the pressure of being the solo artist, which is a good thing. But also, what I didn't like is being a background singer or being a support for the artist. When they decide to take a break and go home, we at home and we off and we're not making any money. And so Mike Powell was actually the one that encouraged me to put my own project out. And so I put my first album out in 2017.
Nice.
And that's where Free was on that album. And then here we are, fast forwarding to where we are now. I have two albums out and 8 singles. And so that's kind of my journey. That's just in a nutshell. And in between there, I've been able to do some wonderful things that have been life changing for me, like doing Dancing with the Stars
Yeah.
and performing on there, as a vocalist, and doing season 16 of NBC's The Voice. So those are things that got sprinkled in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of working with Anita, Kim, putting out my albums, and just, and so I feel super, super blessed that I've been able to
I
do
told y'all that
those
she's
things.
done a
Yeah.
lot. I told you she's
Yeah.
done a lot, and doing it well too. I mean,
Thank
so
you.
this journey has it been everything that you thought it would be, or is it something that you didn't imagine that it could be this way so far?
A little bit of both. It's been super rewarding for
Mm-hmm.
me. I've learned so much, and I think I've learned a tremendous amount about myself. I've learned that I'm stronger than I thought I was, because it's a lot. You get a lot of highs, and your highs are really high. And then you get some lows, and your lows are really high,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really low, rather. You can
But
be,
if the low feeling feels high,
I mean, it's because
I know.
because sometimes you have to be able to deal with no. You have to be able to deal with not yet. You have to be able to deal with not this time. You have to be able to deal with
The
maybe next
lies.
time, and the lies, right? Or the, but then you do just as much as you get the no's or the not yets. You get, hey, you're exactly what we've been looking for, or you're
Right,
perfect
right.
for what we need. So you have to learn how to believe in yourself and love yourself and know that you're fully equipped with everything that you need to have for what it is that you're supposed to do. And if it's something you need to learn, you go learn it so that you can better yourself. And the
And
no's,
you learn from the best.
absolutely. I've had some amazing people to watch. I watched Anita for years. I still work with Kim, so I'm able to watch him and see his growth over the years that I've been with him. Being able to work with the OJs, I toured with them for 6 months, and being able to see those legends still command the stage
Mm.
and sing those hits. And when they come out on the stage and the people just, they just erupt with applause. Like, that was so amazing for me to be able to see something like that. So I've been able to learn from some great legendary performers. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm super grateful.
Well, it's being, you can hear that in their music, like the foundation of all the greats. That sound is definitely in your music. So what
Thank
has
you.
inspired the music? Like, because working with those legends and they have their sound,
Mhm.
and as you say, your first person artist that you listened to was Whitney Houston, and she had songs
Mm-hmm.
like listening to you speak. I could hear Whitney's titles in her songs. That's why I was like, you learn from the best. The greatest love of all
Yeah,
starts with you.
yeah,
Starts with you. Believe in you. All that stuff. These are songs that Whitney Houston, lyrically, her songs represented, and
mm-hmm.
you're speaking that in this interview. So, like, what lyrically, how does your music, how do you want your music to touch people? The way Whitney's music has touched you.
Well, I would say first and foremost, when people hear my music, I want them to be able to close their eyes and visualize the story that I'm telling. I
Mm-hmm.
think songs should give you a story. It should take you on some type of journey. It should take you somewhere and leave you with a memory of where you just went from listening to that song. And I have to thank my producers for that. I have amazing producers that I have worked with and that I currently work with. Michael Powell is one of the producers on my first album. He wanted me to do a remake of I Just Want to Be Your Girl that Anita Baker sang for Chapter 8. So that's on my first album, Free. The song Free that's on that first album, Free, produced by Cordell Walton, who's amazing genius in music. Happens to be the music director for Charlie Wilson, and it has been for many years. Good friend, brother. He's amazing with production. And I still work with Cordell, as well as the producer that I work with now, who had Love Hurts, was on my first album, and that's like my most streamed song. That's produced by Marcus Divine, and my second album Marcus did. And I still work with him, and we're kind of talking about what we're going to do for my third album, actually. So I have to attribute the stories, the lyrics, the production for my music to Marcus, to Cordell, to Mike Powell, to Kenny Flav, who did Let Me Be, great producer from Queen Latifah's Flavor Unit. I have some amazing producers that I work with, and these guys are my friends. These guys are my brothers, and they know me. So they know when they come up with a song, they know how to cultivate a song for me, cultivate a song that they know fits me, fits my message, fits what I'm trying to give. So I keep myself surrounded by great producers. I do write, and I write with them. And I didn't answer that part, and I'm sorry about that. We write together. There are songs that are given to me, that are written, but the ones that we kind of mentioned, like "Ooh," Marcus and I wrote that. Thank you. So, and that song kind of organically happened. Like one day I was in the studio with Marcus, and my husband happened to call. And I told Marcus, I said, give me like 5 minutes so I can talk to him for a second. And he just started doodling on the keyboard. And I told my husband, I said, hold on 1 second. I said, Marcus, what are you playing? He was like, I'm just playing with the keys. I said, whatever that is, save that. That song turned, whatever that was, turned into Ooh. And we just started writing to it. So Let Me Be, Kenny Flav brought me the track, and me and Marcus wrote to that. Free, I wrote that. So I do write, but I am open to writing with people, collabs, and or people giving me a great song that's already written. So
yeah, as long as it touches the soul, right? As long as it touches you and you can feel it, then you can make us feel it. And from the music that I've heard, that's definitely what's been happening. So
Thank you.
On this journey, with Whitney, Whitney's just been a someone that just keeps coming into your life because you had the opportunity to be her double in the movie Sparkle. So
I did.
Was that like a moment for you, like when you got that role?
Yes, and the thing about it is Whitney and I actually share the same birthday, which is August the 9th.
Okay, Leo in the building.
And so when I got cast to be her body double, her stand-in, I didn't even know that's what I was being cast for. So I went to just be an extra in the movie because at that time, I live in Detroit, Michigan. At that time, the movie industry was filming a lot of movies here. And so I just went to be in the movie, not knowing that they were going to cast me as her stand-in and body double. So when I found out that this was what it was for, and it was for Whitney, and how much I love her, and she's my favorite, everything, like I was like, oh my God. Like, so it was life-changing for me. it was like I heard angels singing, I heard fireworks going off. It was amazing for me, and it gave me I felt empowered.
I bet.
Because I felt like something I've always just wanted to meet her. And I felt like the one person who was my favorite, who had inspired me to be me, the singer that inspired me to walk tall and to stand tall and to sing, that I got a chance to share space with her. So that was life-changing for me. I never thought it was going to happen. And it changed me. It gave me a confidence. It gave me a belief that if there are things that you really believe and you really want to do and you keep working hard, you'll get there.
When you got that opportunity, what did you tell her? Did you get a chance to tell her how much she inspired you?
I did. We had a brief moment where I was in, and those have been on a movie set. There's an area called craft services where there's tea, coffee, snacks, and people will go in there and and it's just in a little room a lot of times. And you take a break, you go in there and get a little snack or something. So I was in there to get some tea, and she happened to walk in the room, and I was like,
oh my God.
I from all time stood still, right? And I was able to just talk to her, and I was introducing myself to her to tell her, I'm your stand-in, I'm your body double. And she said, I know who you are. I see you every day. And I was like, oh, she knows I exist, and what happens with a stand-in is the main characters, like Whitney and Jordan Sparks, because she was in the movie as well, they would come in each day and watch the stand-ins kind of maneuver in the scene as to what they're supposed to do. And we'll lightly go over scripts. The production will adjust lights, adjust props, adjust things, how they want that scene to be. But all of that is done with the stand-ins. But the main characters are standing to the side watching. So that's how she knew who I was. She literally had to watch me every day, because she filmed for about 30
she
plus
studied
days.
you as well.
That's right. No,
come on now.
But
come
yes.
on now.
So, every day,
it comes
she
full
had
circle.
to see me
it
every
comes
day to
full
see
circle.
what I was doing. Yeah, I know. And it was just so amazing. So when I gave that little tidbit, just so you know why she said, I know who you are, I see you every day. So she had watched me every day for like 30 days just to see, like, it might be, the script might say stand over towards the door, but the producer may change it and say, you know what? I don't want that, stand over there on that side of the room. And so she would have to know that's a change in the script, and she would have to follow that, right? So when she's telling me, oh, I know who you are, I've been watching you every day. And I'm like, oh my God, freaking out over that. And I said, well, I just wanted to tell you, you're my favorite. I love you. I know you hear that all the time. But then I got a chance to tell her that we had the same birthday. So,
that did it.
And then that did it. And I got a chance to take an amazing picture with her. I got a chance to give her a big hug, and we, a little small talk, chatted, and then she was going to take a break. So that conversation was not long, but it was extremely impactful for me. And not only was I in the room, not only was I working with her, indirectly, but I got a chance to talk to her, and those moments, were just cherished for me. So it changed me. It truly, truly changed me. So I tell people, if there's something you want, something you believe, somewhere you want to go, man, just work hard. You'll get it. You'll get there.
Purpose. It seems like like you was always tuned into your purpose, and then you finally got a chance to meet your idol, and then things started going crazy for you, and continues to go crazy for you as you continue.
It did change. It did change a little bit. Yeah, it did change a little bit. I just kept working, and doors have opened, opportunities have come, and I'm just riding the wave, and I'm just trying to stay on the path that I believe I'm supposed to be on.
Nice. So I have a question. When you did The Voice, why did you choose Kelly? Because was Kelly Clarkson and John Legend was your coach?
Yeah, so I get that question a lot.
They don't normally have two. You don't normally have two. No, is that special?
Well, you can if you leave one team and go to another team, and that's what happened. I chose Kelly first, and then I lost the battle, and then John stole me, and then I went to John
Wow.
Legend's team. And I chose Kelly Clarkson first because when you do shows like that, you have to play chess and not checkers. So
Mm.
I wanted to make sure that when I saw that I had two people that turned around for me, I was like, okay, who do I pick? And I know if they both want me, if something happens, I have a chance of still staying on the show, getting with the other one. So I picked Kelly first and foremost because she had won a show, a singing competition. And I knew that there was something I could learn from her. And so I picked her first, lost the battle, and then got stolen by John Legend, which was great because then I got a chance to work with him and learn additional things from him. He's an EGOT winner. You know, he's won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. How often do you meet an EGOT winner? So I got a chance to work with him. He gave me some techniques to use for my performances. And everything that I learned from Kelly, everything that I learned from John, literally, I still use to this day when I perform.
Wow. Well, cause when I was watching, I said, Kelly Clarkson or John Legend. That's a hard place to be.
But they're both great. And I got
Exactly.
a
Like,
chance,
where
and
do
I
you
got a
go?
chance. Yeah, and I got a chance to work with both of them. It worked out. It was
Kelly
great.
is like the soul. She's like the white girl of all the soul, and she knows the music. She knows the energy.
Yes.
She knows. And then John
Yes.
Legend is us, who is
Mm-hmm.
who we share the sound. You know, it's like, come on, like, and you did well.
But
You did well. Like,
thank
you had a lot
you.
of great performances on that show.
Thank you.
What has been the what advice would you give people interested on going on The Voice? Is that something you would recommend? Would you do it again if you had the chance? Like,
So if I had the chance to do it again, knowing what I know now,
right.
yeah, I would go. You know, you have to be in a position mentally to handle the stress of television. You have to be in a place mentally to handle the stress of being an entertainer or an artist, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole thing. Your hours are long. You know, you're under lights and cameras and just, you know, my days were 16 hours easy. I think when people go on that show, they need to be fully aware that that show can change your life, but it doesn't make you. And you need to make sure that you have tried to establish yourself as an artist before you go on the show. And whatever momentum you gain from being on that show, it is up to you to take it and run with it,
So
because
it's
the
like you
show is
use it
not
as a
going to do it.
commercial for as far as what you have already established.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Okay.
they're, you know, that show is not set up to push your career. You have to push your career. It's just a tool that you have that you can work with to push your career. It's one of the best things that I've ever done, a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a lot and I take it with me. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, that show has given us a lot of great. I won't give it. They haven't given us singers, but they've showcased a lot of great singers that,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, and I've met a few
Yeah.
of them, but you're the first one that I've had the opportunity to speak with. So I'm
Okay.
thankful for that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because
Well,
it's not
thank
often
you.
we get to, you know, because I always like, where's the music? You know, because after the show's over, like, if you don't follow, like, it's never. I always wonder, like, how American Idol was. Like, they would push your career, and
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, and then we would hear, you know, there'd be a whole rollout of when Fantasia was coming out, Ruben was coming out, and then, you know, throughout the years, it kind of dwindled down for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. I guess the industry changed or whatever. And then The Voice came, and then we
Right.
got The Voice, but then we never really got the music. So I'm
They
glad
didn't
you're
do
speaking to
anything.
someone with the music after The Voice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's been you know, like I said, this is from what I've learned. I already had my first album out when I went on the show. So then when I released my second album, it did really good. In fact, my second album, when it came out, it debuted at number one
Nice.
on Amazon Hot New Releases, and it stayed in the top 10 for a couple months. And we did great. UK, we debuted very well in the UK. We debuted on the first day of releasing number 6 on iTunes. Like, we did really good for me to be an indie artist. We did really good. I think that, you know, me doing the show helped because my fan base grew from me doing television. My fan base grew from me traveling around and singing with the different artists that I have, and me trying to maintain a social media presence. So, I did the work. And we're looking forward to album number 3 to see what we do with the third album, how we can push that even more. Yeah. So it's been great. My tour schedule has been great. I'm still working with Kim. I am now opening select shows around the country for Genuine.
Nice.
So I love working with him as well. I started that. I did that all of 2024. And so we're going into 2025, and I have an upcoming show with him coming up. And so, we're just, I'm, me, my team, we're just pushing forward, and we're just
I like
enjoying
that for you, because your music kind of feels like you could have done some collaborations with Tank on it. Like, it feels real, that soul, it's our generation.
It's 90s inspired.
Yeah.
My music is very 90s inspired. That was one of the things that we wanted when we were first talking about how I wanted this second album to be. One of the things I said was, if Ali was still alive, what is she putting out right now? And that was my kind of guide. Like, what would Aaliyah do? And my producer, Marcus Divine, he worked with Aaliyah. He worked with a lot of 90s artists. And so he has that vibe, he has that feel. So that was what I really wanted, like something 90s, but mature, with a more mature spin on it. Because the 90s people, we're a little bit more mature now. So what would we still got that vibe, but what would we be putting out now? What would Aaliyah put out if she could put out a record right now? So you got what I was trying to put out.
I was like, man, I was like, okay, because it felt like when the parts would go, woo, like, it's not like that that era of the good backgrounds, and it was just dope. I was surprised at the how dope. Not surprised that it wouldn't be dope, but I was just the direction of the dopeness it went in. You know what I'm saying? Because it still felt youthful but mature. So
and that's totally what we wanted. That's totally what we wanted. We wanted it to just feel good. We wanted, I come from listening to Toni Braxton, listening, to Whitney, listening to Anita Baker, listening to Escape and SWV, and all of the harmonies. Since I gotta have harmonies and stuff like that in my music, because that's where I came from, listening to that, listening to the stories being told in the music, listening to the dope beats, all of that stuff mixed together that tells you the story, that takes you on the voyage. When you close your eyes, you can visualize the story that I'm telling with the music. The music was a story time. TLC, they were telling stories with their music.
Right.
It wasn't just a song. And so I want to carry that with my music. So I do think I fit well working with Genuine, because he comes from that time where told stories.
Right, and we still want to hear that music today. So it's
absolutely,
I love it when there's like a lineup that really makes sense, and it's just not people just placed there because they may know somebody or whatever, but the music actually speaks. The whole show comes together. Yes. And I can hear that with you and Genuine.
Thank you.
That's dope. So any shows coming up where you would just be performing your own stuff? Or I know you say you're still on the road with Kim, and the Genuine, I think, shows have happened already and they're gonna start back, or
my next upcoming show where I'll be doing solo, it'll be February the 20th, and I'll be opening for Genuine. We'll be in Seattle.
Nice.
So that's coming up.
And then you did you opened up for Patty and Gladys after they did their verses. I know that had to have been amazing, with the energy of that show, and then the audience from just that whole verses era, like,
what was that
good. Like?
Fire, just fire. First of all, to be able to warm up the stage for two legendary fierce Black women that have paved the way for a Black woman like me to just be in their presence and all of the things that they went through that I will never have to go through.
Right.
The things that they have, you know, like they're queens, you know what I'm saying? So just to even have my name and be with them on the flyer, that was incredible. And I hope to be able to do it again. It was a great show. The energy was incredible. It was just great. And I had a ball.
Yeah, I love I love your energy. I love your music. I wish.
Thank you.
I wish. I'm glad you're here now, but it seems like you should have been. I should have seen you in concert already.
Well, I feel like that too, but
like,
you know
because
what?
I love R&B female vocalists, and I've supported all of y'all. And I
Listen,
feel
I
like your
appreciate it.
energy is somebody that I would have supported along the way, and during that time. Like, you would have really been one of those ones that, like, with the Mickeys and the Regina Bells, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like you would
thank
have been in that
you.
lineup of greatness that I would have had the opportunity to see like 4 or 5 or 7 times.
Oh, you said 4, 5, or 7. Well, you know what? Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that you found me now. And you
Yes,
can
me
keep up
too.
with me now and see
That's a
where I'm
fact.
going and say what I'm doing. But and so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really dope. Cause yeah, you don't you speak to I speak to a lot of artists, um, like older artists, but you don't have you're not your older artists are more sophisticated artists, but you're not like stuffy. You know what I mean? You still got it going on. You know what I mean? Like, you still got
I
stuff.
try.
You still got stuff that you're talking about that we want to hear, and that's
Thank
not
you.
often. You know what I'm saying? That you get a chance to speak to an artist who's of our age that still got it together. You know that,
Yeah, I got a little
and there's more
seasoning
to
on me,
come.
but it's okay.
Huh?
Yeah, so I got a little seasoning on me, but it's
Yeah, no,
okay.
season
Thank you.
is good. Season is great in these times, so we need it because it comes with the
Yeah,
wisdom and everything like that.
yeah,
So you're not trying to be. I mean, I don't even know if there's not really anything to try to be these days in R&B, because there's no
yeah,
real, outside of Beyonce, there's no presence of any R&B artist that you can strive to be for the young girls. It's only Beyonce,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
getting the light right now. So
And the thing is she's not the only one. She's just, the one they're showing. And that's what makes it, where it makes you think there's nobody else. There's a lot of
right.
Black female artists out here doing their thing. And you just kind of got to find them and it's unfortunate how the business is manipulated like that. But it is what
Mm-hmm.
it is. And my job as an artist, as an independent artist, is to just keep pushing, keep and continue creating good music, continue working with the great producers that I do,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep moving. And then
So
some people
how
like
do
you
you
will
feel
find
about
me.
that though? How do you feel about the state of R&B today? Like the sound of it, outside of just the faces of who we see and don't see, the
Mm-hmm.
sound of it has changed. From what they give us on mainstream radio as far as what they call in R&B. How do you feel about that?
I got mixed feelings because I believe if you have talent, you
Mm-hmm.
should be able to display your talent and be rewarded for your talent, right?
Right.
But there is talent that is not being displayed, um, and I think that's unfortunate. I think it should be open enough so people can have they can turn on the radio and they can find whatever they want to listen to. Now, when you turn on the radio, you only listen to what you're programmed to listen to. And you may miss artists like me, because I may not be on mainstream radio in the area that you're listening to.
Right.
So, and even as much as I travel, you go to different cities and music is different depending on the area that you listen to or the area that you're in. And sometimes people never hear about great artists. So,
Mm.
I feel like I miss the real instrumentation of music. Everything has the computerized feeling. I feel computerized sound. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
singers are not singing like they used to sing. Like back in the day, people sang. They opened their mouths and sang. Now it seems like people sing with their mouths closed and they mumbling. Like I don't know what's going on. So
Right.
I'm just hoping that the essence of music and singing and pronouncing your words so people know what you're saying, and the essence of feeling a song and feeling the emotion comes back.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Especially within our music, because it's necessary, because we're missing
Oh,
out on a lot of great songs, a lot of great songwriters,
yeah.
voices. It's like back in the day, it used to be. It was just a time. It was just a time.
And so he said, it was just a time. It was
It was
just a
just a
time.
time.
It was a grand time. And so, but we still have great music, and
We do.
because we still have great music, and people like you,
Great new music.
great new music, and people like you who discover people like me, and put me on your platform. So you're very much needed and a part of that, and you are a part of making sure that real music continues to go. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's very important, because I mean, as a creative, it's like we have to create our own spaces to be heard. So I'm glad that my platform has reached artists who are working on your level.
Yeah.
To be able to be a part of what's going on now, what's pushing right now. So because
Yeah.
it's a lot of hard work, staying consistent, and it's doing what you got to do to
Mm-hmm.
do what you got to do.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
But we are outside, and we're still supporting this music. You're still making it, and it's new and it's fire, and we're definitely gonna be on Solar Streets. And so when you see that notification that a lot of your music will be being played, because you have so much that I can go in and out. It's just amazing. So where's the
Thank you.
latest song that you have? Is it Ooh?
Yeah, Ooh is the latest song
Okay.
that that we have out. That's on my album Get to Know Me, and that's available on all platforms. And you can go to my website, bethalwayssings.com, and connect to me on social media platforms. That's also my Instagram handle, and you can find the music there. I'm going to put another single out this year, and and I'm just looking forward to hitting the road and meeting people, and I really love performing live. That's one of my favorite things, and just to organically meet new people, and entertain the
Mm-hmm.
crowds and sing to them. I absolutely love that.
And where are you from?
I'm from Detroit. I'm in Detroit.
You from Detroit? Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that. I
where it's
mean,
nice and
because
cold, a little snow on the ground.
you got a good soulful vibe. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
I love
thank
it. I love it.
you.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
'Cause it's dope. It's dope. I mean, and the music represents exactly how you make the listener feel. You know what I mean? It feels very good, soulful, and we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it alive here on the East Coast. I'm in New York, so
Okay.
we're gonna keep you here live on the Soul of the Streets. Thank you so much. This has been a pleasure
Thank you.
of meeting you, and I look forward to supporting you. And hopefully, you get to New York, and I get a chance to meet you,
Absolutely.
and see you
Thank
rock
you.
out. You know what I'm saying? That will be dope, 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 dope.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me on your show. Thank you.
Thank you. And is there any inspirational words you would give an artist, a singer, songwriter, trying to pursue this journey? Any words of
Um,
encouragement?
yeah, I think the most important thing that I think that I found out is that your attitude determines your altitude.
Mm,
And you just have to understand that everything that you want to do is not going to happen right when you want it to happen. And just put in the work, continue to go, but keep a good attitude along the way, and make
last
sure that
question.
you're
Last
open to
question.
learn.
Last question. How do you get to not how do you get to, but how is it for you maintaining social media? Like how do you get is it a struggle for you? Do you enjoy it? Is it something that it's another gig, right? But how do
I
you
mean,
maintain it?
it's very necessary for what I do. So let me say that. And I had to just
Okay.
get I never really had a problem with it. I've always liked
Okay.
it. I've
Great.
always
Great.
been on it. So I'm not the artist that was the artist and said, "Oh, now I got to get on social media." I was already on social media.
Okay.
So when I was like, okay, now I have to just start posting about my music and about what I do, and to engage people in what I do in my music, then I just started having to change what I posted to make sure people understood. I feel it's when people come to your page and you're an artist, if that's a page for an artist, people should know that you're an artist. So I just try to make sure that I keep things on my page so people come on this page and I go, oh, she sings, she's working, she's doing this. So I don't mind social media, and because it's very necessary for what we do.
Right.
Very, very necessary. I connect with so many people through social media. I get off the stage and I can see, once I give out my social media handle, the new followers that I get, and I try to connect with the people. It's very necessary, and I enjoy it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, because people be like, I'm tired of social media. I'm tired of making videos and reels and all this stuff. It's like, how you gonna be an artist if you don't want to make a reel? Like, how you gonna make to get a video? You got to get to a reel sometimes.
Yeah,
a reel may inspire somebody who shoot videos.
it's part of the job. It's just like it's part of anything. You just have to do it, or get somebody to do it for you if you have the means to do that. I happen to enjoy doing it, and then I get help for other things that when I need to do something else with my social media where I don't have that skill set. But I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. And then there's some days I don't feel like doing it, and guess what? I don't do it.
You don't do it. And then you could do enough of it one day, and you can make content last for weeks. Because especially when you're busy and you're creating your own lane, it's like you're your own
everything.
Your own train, yeah. It works.
Yeah, you're your own everything. So yeah, please figure it out. Please figure it out. But it's all good. It's part of the job. So I don't mind.
Yeah, but we thank you for not being one of those. I thank you for not being, because trust me, you're definitely inspiring artists, young, old, mid-age, whatever. Because it's not easy to maintain social media presence. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been on your page, and you have a good presence on there. And
thank you.
That's not always the case. It's the case for a lot of people, but it's not the case for a lot of people too.
Yeah, I understand.
And I like it when it's the case, because that means you're excited about what you're doing. You feel like you have stuff to share with the people, and you're excited every time you hit that send button for us to see the content that you're going to put out. So thank you so much. It's inspiring.
You're welcome. And you know what? And I know that what I do, I don't have to be doing this. This is something that I chose to do, right? And I also understand that there's a lot of people that want to do what I'm doing. And so it's a blessing and a privilege that I can do this. So I'm happy to do it. I don't take it for granted.
That's what I'm talking. And the name of the project is Get to Know Me Better.
It's Get to Know Me.
Get to Know Me. And that's what we did today. We got to know you, Beth. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram, The Hype NYC, everyone, and get in tune with Beth and other great artists. And just know that R&B is still alive, and Beth is keeping it going. And you can catch her on the road with Kim, Genuine, and just a lot of the great R&B artists. And you'll find soon you're gonna be seeing people open up for yourself. Come on now.
That's right. You better speak that thing. That's
Come
right.
on. You're gonna be opening up for Beth these days, and thank you for being a Black young lady that young girls can aspire to be for this generation. And so stay on your grind, and God bless you, and we love you here on Solar Streets.
God bless you too. Thank you so much.
Until next time, be blessed. Peace.